Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. We're on day number 33, and I'm so excited for the incredible conversation we're going to have today because, as you might have seen the thumbnail, it says just three simple things: believe, dream, believe, achieve, succeed. I believe that's what the thumbnail says exactly, or believe, dream, succeed. But those three words, those three crucial statements are the essence of what takes you to the top, of what makes you the person who's at the top of his or her league. And today, in the next 15 minutes, we are going to decode that science. We are going to decode that art. And we are going to understand exactly what it is that the top people do differently, because of which they're at the top. And this is what it takes to get there. So, if you are excited and if you are ready to have this conversation, to really imbibe these ideas, and to become the person who succeeds at his or her dreams, well, then pay full attention, because the one shift we're going to make today has the power to create this ripple effect and create this success throughout your life. So, I want to begin this with a very simple demonstration, with a very clear idea of what it really means to become successful, what it really means to achieve your goals. Here's the simple way to define it. When you have a goal, and when you have a target, and when you have something extraordinary that you want to do in your life, and there you do not back down, you do not fall back, you do not give up in the face of challenges. That is when you become successful. Not when your life is free of challenges, but when you do not give up in the face of challenges. And that requires a completely different mindset than the one that we are taught to believe in. Because as we've grown up, as we've come from a school to a college to our workplaces to our jobs, to all these different areas in our lives that we have seen, you know what's the number one lesson that we're always taught? Think logically, think realistically, think practically. And yes, that's true, that's needed. I mean, if I say today that I am a dreamer, I am a believer, I am an achiever, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start flying from the seventh floor, not gonna happen. I'll die. That's not what I mean by being successful or achieving extraordinary things. Look at it rationally, look at it from the perspective of a human being who knows basic science, and then there you will realize this. Apart from these certain limitations on a physical reality and on a physical world, actually, we don't really have limitations, we don't really have barriers, but we have been conditioned to believe, oh no, be a bit careful, take things a bit slowly, take it one step at a time. And yes, it's true, yes, it's important, but again, context matters, situation matters. And here's a very, very simple way for you to understand that. And don't worry about this, it's going to be a very safe demonstration. So, I want you to look at this, okay? This is a matchbox, this is a matchstick that I have. If I just light it up like this, you can see it's burning now, it's there, and I'm just gonna blow it out. Okay, so it did not burn me, it did not hurt me, it did not do anything. But a lot of times, what happens is, in our lives, our challenges, our situations, our problems are like this, that we light the matchstick and then it burns and it burns and it burns and it burns and it burns until our finger catches that fire. And then we are like, oh no, this is too dangerous. I cannot do it. I must not do this, because if I do, I will get burned. And the problem with us is, our life and the lives of so many different people around us is full of examples of people getting burnt, of people trying to build a dream, then failing and going broke, of somebody who wanted to achieve a lot of success, who wanted to become extraordinary, but then something or the other went wrong, and he had to come back to reality, he had to come back to the base, he had to stop dreaming so big. And there, this is the crucial distinction for you to understand. The problem that happens is, rather than asking ourselves, why do we keep getting burnt again and again and again, we start judging and we start saying, the fire and the matchstick is bad. That is not worth it. That is what burns. Well, no, that is not what burns, because you saw me right now. Did I get burnt when I started the fire? Of course not. Because I was aware about it. I was smart about it. I was clear about it. And I knew the perspective to approach this from. And so that's where we make a mistake. The reason we are not an achiever is because we haven't learned the skill yet to deal with the fire, to deal with the responsibility, to deal with the pressure that comes with success. And so when we try to go out there, when we try to create it, when we try to achieve something, when we try to get to the top, and the pressure comes to us first, the fire comes to us first, the challenges come to us first, we crumble under those challenges, and then we say, success isn't possible. Really? Are you seeing the absurdity that this logic holds? Where rather than understanding what is that I am missing is a skill because of which I'm not able to be an achiever, we are blaming the process. We are blaming that success itself isn't possible, that I should just be realistic. Well, no, you should not. Rather than shunning the fire away because you got burnt once and not like using any of its benefits, like cooking food, getting heat, so many more things that fire does for us, right? If you got burnt once and then you say, I'll never ever touch fire again, well, guess what? It's your loss. It's your life that's going to be limited. It's you who is going to suffer from the limitations. Success, achievement, big dreams, getting to the top in your life, it's exactly the same thing. We believe we have to suffer, we have to sacrifice, we have to do so many different things to become successful. No, we just need to learn the skills that the people at the top have mastered. We just need to understand what is it that they do differently in their thinking, in their actions, in their approach to challenges, which makes them grow rather than crumble like the rest of us. And the moment you can decode that, the moment you can understand that, the same fire that you were once afraid of, well, that same fire builds you. That same fire supports you. That same fire becomes the fuel that drives your success, because now you realize it's not the fire that was bad. It's just you who were missing the skill. And you look at this pattern in every successful person, and I promise you, you will see this. They're always learning, they're always growing, they are always upgrading. And sometimes, when you look at them, you'll feel like, why are they even doing that? I mean, they're already at the top. Why do they need to learn? Why do they need to grow? Why do they need to succeed? Why are they reading so many different books? Well, it's not for a lost cause. They're very well aware of the fact that as I'm growing in my life, there are going to be new fires to deal with. There are going to be new challenges to deal with. There are going to be new situations that could end up becoming barriers. And I better have the skill. I better be prepared. I better be ready to handle that fire and to handle that challenge and to handle that problem when it shows up and when it comes my way. So, the skill that takes you to the top is not the skill of how to avoid the fire and how to play it safe. No, nobody succeeds when they do that. But rather, the skill is to learn and to upgrade and to understand what are the competencies that you are missing. And the moment you build those competencies, you start to grow, you start to succeed, you start to become this best version of yourself. And so that is why constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly upgrading in any way, doesn't matter how you're doing it, doesn't matter whether it's through books or whether it's through courses or whether it is through practice, through experience, through learning with someone, doesn't really matter. What matters is every single day, are you learning, are you growing, are you a better person than who you were before? Do you have the better skill to deal with the fires and the challenges and the barriers of your life? Because you cannot avoid them, but you can definitely grow through them. The question is, are you willing to take that step? And are you willing to take that action? Well, if you are today, then today is a very, very special day, because right after this session, I am hosting my special workshop called Get Unstuck, Take Action, and Achieve Big, where the promise is simple. I'm going to help you understand exactly where you are stuck, exactly where your barriers might be, and it's starting in 20 minutes from now at 9 p.m. So, literally, as soon as I end this live, I'm going to log in there. I'm going to start, explaining the very science of why we are stuck that I've understood over the last 6 years of studying with people, of studying books, of studying courses, of studying psychology, and of working with hundreds and hundreds of people one on one. So if you want to join that, here's what I'll do for you, because today is a very special day and I want you to be there. I want you to really, really gain these skills. So right now, probably when you register on the website, the time's up. You won't get the email with the Zoom link. Very special for the people who are here in this live session only. Here's what I'm doing. I am attaching the direct Zoom link of the webinar for you to join in right away at 9 p.m. Just know this, that it will end very soon. This is your chance to really take action on your dreams, to start implementing the achiever's mindset right away. I mean, that's all it really takes. Start your learning and growth today. Invest this time for yourself. I've just shared the link in the chat box with you. And I think it didn't go. Yeah, you can see the link. It's there. The meeting ID is also there. The password is also there. I'll just send it once again just to make sure that it is properly structured. Something's going wrong, I guess. Well, just know the meeting ID is there. That's 896-8452-9239. And the password is simple, new clarity. Save this link with yourself, log in, be there. And I promise you, it is going to be an experience of a lifetime. Keep your pen and notepad handy, and I'll see you there live. So I'll just prep for the webinar now. I'll log in there, and I hope to see you there very, very soon. Thank you so much for being here. And remember this principle tonight as you go to sleep, as you attend the webinar and then go to sleep, that the way to get to the top is to always keep learning, always keep growing, and to always keep building my core competencies. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you there in the webinar very, very soon in just a few minutes. Bye.